Okay, let's unpack this. I mean, it's really something, isn't it? How much digital tools are just, well, everywhere in how we work now. It affects everything from just your daily checklist to how whole teams connect and function. And we're talking way beyond just simple video calls these days. It's these integrated systems,
Yeah.
for creating things, sharing, managing big projects together. It's a matter where you are logging in from. So today we're taking a deep dive into this huge expanding area, the global collaborative software market. And we're basing this discussion on a really comprehensive report we've got here from Cognitive Market Research. It's called Global Collaborative Software Market, Growth and Trends. Our mission basically is to cut through all the data, pull out the really key insights, maybe some surprising bits too from this report. And I think you'll see pretty quickly just how fundamental this stuff has become.
Yeah, it's quite something. And what's fascinating here isn't just the current size, which is already big, but how fast it's expected to grow. So the global market, it was valued at, $14,568.8 million back in 2021.
Okay, pretty substantial.
Right. But the forecast is what really jumps out. It's projected to nearly triple.
Triple, wow.
Yeah, soaring up to around 35,482.4 million by 2033. Which works out to a compound annual growth rate, a CAGR, of 7.7%.
7.7% every year. That's strong, consistent growth.
It really is. That 7.7% CAGR, it means, on average, the market's growing by almost 8% annually, building on the previous year. That shows some serious long-term investment and confidence. And it's not random growth either. The report digs into the drivers.
Right, it's like remote work, I assume.
Exactly. Digital connectivity, the big push towards remote work, hybrid models becoming standard. Those are definitely major factors. But what's maybe less obvious is how these trends are fundamentally changing how companies are structured. The demand now isn't just for basic chat or video. It's for these really integrated platforms that can handle complex project management, sometimes across completely different time zones. And that ties directly into seeing more distributed leadership emerge and this real need for tools that work well when people aren't online at the same time, asynchronous collaboration.
So it goes beyond just making things easier.
Absolutely. This shift really highlights why unified communication platforms are so critical, not just for convenience, like you said, but for actual business continuity, for, operational excellence in this new way of working.
That's a really powerful point. These platforms have gone from nice to have to essentially mission critical for survival and, getting ahead strategically. And when something becomes that foundational, it starts changing everything else around it. So as we see this massive growth, this evolution, what does it actually mean for you listening? For how you work day to day, how you communicate, even how you should maybe think strategically about your career path. And it seems clear these tools aren't just tweaking efficiency anymore. They're fundamentally reshaping jobs and entire industries.
Yeah.
So pulling back then, looking at the big picture from this deep dive, it's just crystal clear, isn't it? The global collaborative software market is, it's firmly on this upward path everywhere, all regions. It's genuinely redefining workplace infrastructure strategy, the whole 9 yards, worldwide.
Right. Exactly. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it just hammers home how central digital transformation has become, alongside hybrid work being the norm now, and this constant demand for tools that make communication and workflows, seamless. It's all intertwined. And this brings up an interesting question, something for you to think about. The report highlights some really rapid regional growth. Think about India projecting a 9.2% CAGR. Or Taiwan, even higher at 11%.
Wow, those are significant numbers for specific regions.
They really are. So given that kind of fast adoption, especially in places like India and Taiwan, how might this change global business relationships? Could we see perhaps totally new ways of international teams working together? Creating, amazing opportunities for connecting across cultures, but maybe also new hurdles, new challenges for understanding each other and collaborating effectively over the next, say, 10 years.
That really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? It's not just about the software itself. It's about the profound changes it enables or even forces. Definitely something worth reflecting on. What are the implications of this huge shift for your own work, your career, maybe your entire industry? Because this transformation, it's happening right now. Remember when The Office was just...
Yeah.
The Office.
Yeah, seems like a long time ago now, doesn't it?
It really does. And then almost overnight, for so many of us, the whole idea of where and how we worked just completely flipped.
Totally. Suddenly your living room's a boardroom.
Exactly. your kitchen table's mission control.
Yeah.
So for you listening right now, I mean, how much has that shift really impacted your daily work life?
It's the big question.
It is, because that huge change, that's really why we're here today on the deep dive. We're going to zero in on the collaborative software market. It's incredibly dynamic, evolving so fast.
Constantly changing.
And we're not just, scratching the surface. Our mission here is to really peel back the layers. We want to understand the powerful forces pushing this market forward, but also look at the unexpected roadblocks it's hitting.
Right, the challenges too.
And then look ahead at the exciting trends already shaping its future.
Yeah.
This deep dive, it's all about giving you a clear, really informed picture of this crucial area. So let's dig in.
Let's do it.
So, thinking back to the immediate aftermath of the pandemic, we all thought, right, this unprecedented surge in adopting tools like Slack, Microsoft Teams, Zoom.
Oh, yeah. They went from useful to absolutely essential almost overnight.
They really did. They weren't just apps anymore. They became the sort of digital lifeblood for businesses just trying to keep things running, keep conversations going. But what made them so indispensable beyond just becoming household names?
Well, it's fascinating because these platforms, they didn't just fill a gap. They fundamentally reshaped how organizations could actually function.
How so?
They allowed teams that were suddenly scattered, across cities, maybe even continents, to communicate in real time, to coordinate pretty complex projects, and crucially, to maintain productivity.
Right, keeping the wheels turning.
Exactly. So what we saw wasn't just a temporary fix, it was the real emergence of a truly decentralized workplace. Operations could stay smooth, even without everyone in the same building. The old office model wasn't the only option anymore.
And it clearly wasn't just about crisis mode. Once things settled a bit, it became obvious there are these deeper ongoing forces driving this market. What would you say is top of that list?
Well, a primary driver is definitely the rising need for instant communication and really seamless file sharing across different departments, too.
That makes sense. Less emailing back and forth.
Precisely. Before, you might have had separate email threads, maybe Dropbox for files, a separate chat tool. It led to what we call data silos, just isolated pockets of information.
Oh, I meant it.
Very. Now, teams really expect, almost demand, centralized platforms, ones that offer chat, video conferencing, document collaboration, task tracking, all in one spot.
A unified approach.
Exactly. It eliminates those silos, it massively increases visibility on projects, and it genuinely fosters real-time collaboration, even with global teams across different time zones. It's about breaking down those old barriers.
Okay, that's a huge driver. And speaking of breaking down barriers, you mentioned something else companies are pouring resources into. Digital transformation. This isn't just a buzzword anymore, is it?
Oh, not at all. It's core strategy now. We're seeing collaborative software being woven much more deeply into the broader enterprise ecosystem.
Like connecting with other business tools.
Exactly. Think integration with CRM systems for sales teams, ERPs for resource planning, sophisticated project management tools.
Could you give an example?
Sure. Imagine a sales lead comes into your CRM. That could automatically trigger a new channel in Teams or Slack, pull in all the relevant client data, maybe even assign the first few tasks.
Okay, I see. Automating the workflow.
Right. That kind of deep integration automates workflows, it ensures different teams like sales and product are aligned, and ultimately it fuels innovation. It's all about making the organization more agile, more adaptable to, today's market.
So, clearly strong momentum, powerful drivers, but like any market moving this fast, it's not all smooth sailing. There must be some restraints, some challenges.
Oh, absolutely. There are definitely hurdles.
And I'd guess the first one that springs to mind for most people is probably security.
You're spot on, yeah. When you've got sensitive company files, critical internal communications flying around on cloud platforms, well, concerns about data security and privacy jump right to the top.
What kind of concerns specifically?
Well, you worry about unauthorized access, obviously. Then there's ensuring regulatory compliance, think GDPR, IPA, especially for finance or healthcare, and just the constant threat of data breaches.
Right.
So unless a platform can really demonstrate robust, ironclad security and encryption, a lot of companies, especially those in regulated fields, are understandably cautious. It's a major hurdle.
Okay, security is huge. What else? What about the practical side? Getting these shiny new tools to actually work with the systems companies already have? Many big organizations have decades of tech infrastructure.
That's another critical point. Yeah. A lot of organizations are still running on legacy IT systems, stuff that just wasn't built to talk nicely to modern cloud-based collaboration tools.
So compatibility issues.
Big time. This lack of compatibility can seriously slow down deployment. It often means needing extra, sometimes expensive, custom development work, and honestly, it can really hurt user satisfaction when things just don't connect smoothly.
Yeah, I can imagine the frustration, like trying to plug a new charger into an old phone socket.
Exactly that kind of feeling. You
Yeah.
need adapters, workarounds, and sometimes it's still clunky.
And then, even if the tech works perfectly, you've always got the human element, right?
Right.
Getting people to actually use the new software, change their habits, that could be tough.
It really can. Transitioning to new systems often hits resistance. Sometimes it's teams who are just really used to their old ways. Other times it's people less comfortable with digital tools generally.
And if the software itself isn't easy to use,
Then you've got a real problem. If platforms are too complex, if the interface isn't intuitive, user-friendly, you just see slow adoption. People find workarounds. Efficiency actually drops initially.
so it's not just about buying the software.
No, not at all. Companies need to invest seriously in comprehensive training and often quite significant change management programs. You have to get people comfortable, proficient, make them want to use it, not feel forced or frustrated. It's about helping people live and work effectively within the new system.
Okay, so real challenges there with security, integration, and adoption. But despite all that, this market is undeniably surging ahead. It's constantly evolving, and there are some really exciting trends pushing it forward.
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting.
And maybe the biggest one right now,
Mm.
the growing integration of AI. Artificial intelligence features actually in the collaboration tools. How is AI making a real difference here, moving beyond just the hype?
Well, what's truly transformative is how AI is getting embedded directly into the workflow, actually changing how we do things. We're talking about things like smart scheduling assistants that can figure out complex meeting times across calendars.
Okay, that's useful.
Very. Or automated meeting summaries, capturing key decisions, action items, without anyone having to furiously type notes. Real-time transcription during calls is becoming common. Even intelligent task recommendations popping up based on your conversations.
So it's about offloading the busy work.
Exactly. These AI features minimize that repetitive manual stuff, they improve meeting efficiency dramatically, and they can empower users with data-backed insights. It's almost like having a super efficient personal assistant built right into your collaboration platform.
Less admin, more thinking. I like the sound of that. And
Sure.
building on that idea of efficiency, many of us feel like we're constantly juggling apps, right?
Mhm.
Chat here, documents there, tasks somewhere else. Is there a trend towards fixing that app juggling?
Yes, absolutely. We're seeing a strong convergence. Communication tools, task management, document collaboration, they're all coming together into single unified platforms.
To combat what you might call tool fatigue.
Precisely. Instead of constantly switching contexts, bouncing between your chat app, your project board, your document editor users can increasingly just work within one ecosystem.
Makes sense. Less clicking around.
Yeah, it simplifies the workflow, reduces that cognitive load,
Yeah.
the mental effort of constantly switching gears. It lets people focus on the actual work, not on managing the tools they need to do the work.
Okay, and one final trend that feels really relevant, especially with globally distributed teams. The significant rise in asynchronous collaboration. That must be huge for dealing with time zones.
It's becoming essential. It's transformative, really. With teams spread all over the world, you can't always expect everyone to be online at the same time. So features like dedicated message boards for topics, shared living documents that everyone contributes to on their own schedule, even pre-recorded video updates, they're gaining serious traction.
How does that help specifically?
Well, these tools let team members contribute effectively, stay fully updated without needing that simultaneous online presence. It really overcomes the time zone constraint. It fosters incredible flexibility. Someone in, say, Berlin can leave a detailed project update overnight.
No? And their colleague in Seattle picks it up first thing their morning.
Exactly. It's about maximizing productivity and contribution without forcing everyone into the same rigid 9 to 5 or whatever the hours might be. It supports different work styles, too.
Wow. Okay, we've really covered a lot of ground today on this collaborative software market. I mean, from its explosive, almost pandemic-forced growth.
Uh-huh.
And those key drivers, like the need for seamless communication and that big push for digital transformation,
Right.
to hitting those hurdles, the really critical concerns around security, those sometimes painful integration issues, and that often underestimated human element of user adoption.
Yeah, all crucial pieces.
But then looking ahead, those fascinating trends, AI weaving itself into the tools, platforms becoming more unified, and this undeniable shift towards asynchronous work.
Mm.
At its core, this market feels like it's all about relentless innovation, pushing for more flexibility, and always striving for better efficiency in how we all get things done.
Yeah, and if you sort of connect all those dots, think about the bigger picture. It raises a really interesting, maybe even provocative question for everyone listening.
Okay.
As these tools keep evolving, and they're evolving fast, how might they fundamentally redefine not just how we do our day-to-day tasks, but maybe the very structure, the hierarchy, the dynamics within our organizations in the years to come?
Changing the organization itself.
Potentially. So what implications does that hold for how you might need to adapt? How can you thrive in a professional world that's becoming, much more interconnected in some ways, but also often much more asynchronous?
That's definitely something to think about. What does this evolving landscape mean for your team, your specific role, and your own future in this constantly changing world of work? Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.